As we explore the darkest corners of Bones, we find ourselves face to face with some truly terrifying villains. From serial killers to cannibals and evil clowns, the team at the Jeffersonian faced their fair share of nightmares. But in the end, they always emerged victorious with the help of Booth and Brennan's unbreakable partnership. So here are the 15 most notorious villains from the Blood series Bones, from the Gravedigger to, and then make similar sense that Heather Taffet, known as the Gravedigger. Taffet was a United States attorney who kidnapped and buried her victims alive. Her twisted methods and manipulation almost proved successful, but in the end, her reign of terror was cut short by a fatal gunshot. Jacob Brodsky, a world-class marksman and assassin known as the Hand of God. Brodsky had a military background, although he apprehended Heather Taffet, aka the Gravedigger. His killing spree proved too much for even the Jeffersonian team to handle. The field, the Gormagon, a terrifying cannibalistic serial killer who delighted in leaving bite marks on his victims' remains. The Gormagon was a mastermind of evil. His gruesome murder was eventually traced back to him, and he even committed suicide in his prison cell as authorities closed in. 1-8. Nadira Persad, a mysterious woman in the Order of the Grail. Nadira Persad takes on supernatural aspects in the show, and she manages to go toe-to-toe with the Jeffersonian team, almost causing the team to turn on each other. 11. Serving as a warlock and bookmaker in the Order of the Grail, Holland is a powerful antagonist who stretches the boundaries of what is real in the Bones universe. 10. Array El Name.
A high-ranking government official, Ray is a master of disguise and deceit.
His manipulation and control over the Jeffersonian team forced them to confront their darkest fears. 9B, Gordon, the skilled con man, targets the Jeffersonian team with his manipulation and lies in a twisted game of cat and mouse. Eventually, his elaborate schemes unraveled, leading to his downfall also, not to possible. And Dr. Andrew Rigby, aka the Cannibal, another terrifying killer. Dr. Rigby was obsessed with taxidermy and turning his victims into perfect, lifelike keepsakes. His grisly crimes were rooted in his passion for all things macabre. 7. Glenn Durant, J.D. Cohen, a patriotic murderer who orchestrated the murder of high-ranking government officials. Durant was a master manipulator. His connection to the Ghost Killer ultimately led to his own demise, as Booth was finally able to bring him to justice. 18s, Mihir Roshan, Robbie Kapoor. As the Puppeteer, Roshan was a terrifying killer who donned creepy masks and performed gruesome taxidermy on his victims. His twisted actions drove the Jeffersonian team to their wits' end. 5 cans. There were a salesman who turned killer. Flender's crimes were rooted in his twisted sense of justice, and his brutal murders and ritualistic tendencies made him one of the most notorious villains on Bones. 4, Peter Geller as the killer clown, Anderson's chilling performance as Geller had viewers hiding behind their couches. His murders were particularly disturbing as he left his victims' bodies as gruesome displays of his madness. To what 3? Kevin Hollings, the keymaster. Hollings had a twisted method of murder that involved the use of a key to remove his victims' eyes. With his gruesome tactics, Hollings deserved a place on this list of the worst villains in Bones, 2 divided by Richard Benoit, Giancarlo Esposito, a voodoo killer. Benoit was a dark and mysterious figure who nearly took Brennan's life when she was on the wrong side of his curse. Despite this, she managed to outsmart him and put an end to his violent ways. Yeah, it would be 1. But I wouldn't really care that there was no procedure. You know, it was more than 5 years ago. And then escape that prevention, in the end, he met his demise at the hands of the very man he sought to harm. And there we have it. A look into the twisted minds of the villains that stalked the halls of the Jeffersonian Institute. Who was your favorite villain? And what did they do to deserve a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exciting content. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.